Viewers and subscribers, you're welcome back again. This is BVI Channel 1, where you get nothing but undiluted truth. What happened in Guinea Bissau a couple of days ago is a transcript of what will become of Nigeria come 2027. And it is going to make sense to you if you watch this video to the end. To start with, when the news of the coup in Guinea-Bissau broke out, the global community saw it as another takedown of democratic government.
A coup has been confirmed in Guinea-Bissau. Now, earlier today, we heard heavy gunfire outside the presidential palace just days after general elections took place. Let's have a listen to that. Crowds of people were seen running from near the palace. Two candidates have claimed victory ahead of the release of results on Thursday. The incumbent, Umaro Sissoco Embalo, is seeking a second term. He ran against opposition contender Fernando Diaz and 11 others.
Denise Nkanya, chef da Casa Militar do Presidente da República. O alto comando militar para a restauração de segurança nacional e ordem pública comunicado, instaurado pela alta chefia de diferentes ramos das Forças Armadas, o Alto Comando Militar para a Restauração de Segurança Nacional e Ordem Pública acaba de assumir plenitude dos poderes do Estado da República da Guiné-Bissau.
Not until the former president of Nigeria shook the world with the truth of what actually transpired.
What happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. For want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the president, President Balo, that announced the coup. Before later, a military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Embalo has already announced the coup, which is strange.
Now, after that incident, as the former president of Nigeria was still in Guinea-Bissau, people were dragging Tinubu for failing to lift and take Jonathan out of that situation of military takeover. You know how that usually happens and what is the case. People dragged him that a neighboring country have to do the needful for the former president of Nigeria. Now, where the whole thing started making sense is when Jonathan actually granted this interview shortly after he met with the president that abandoned him.
Thank you so much. I came this evening to brief Mr. President what happened. Well, that's the tradition. You have a former president, all these regional and continental issues. Whenever you're involved, when you get back home, you have to brief your president because the ECOWAS leaders will meet. I will not be there. So you'll be able to get first-hand information. I think, just like I mentioned in the press briefing, the key thing is that that election was concluded. Tallying of the results was almost concluded. In fact, the results are known. And the key thing is that the winner of that election must be announced. Well, they cannot kick out the military with force, otherwise people will die. But let us know the winner of the election. So what asking the ECOWAS leaders to do is to reach out to the military leadership in Guinea-Bissau. Talk to them. They are human beings. They know the right thing to be done. First, for them to release the opposition man, because the man has not committed any offense. He didn't announce himself as a winner of election. If he has done that, they will say it was a treason, a treasonable offense. So there was no reason to arrest him. So they should release that man. Then they should announce the result. And if the military will agree, the person who won the election should be inaugurated as the president of the country. We are tired of this in Africa.
Now, if you look at his body language after beating President Tinubu, you will understand, even from his tone, that truly it is coming to Nigeria. And why do I say so? Come to think of it, there is every indices to indicate that Tinubu will not win 2027 election, despite the fact he never won it before. And being the incumbent president, he is going to lose monumentally in that election. And that is a known fact. I know some people will argue it because he has successfully dismantled almost all institutions of democracy in Nigeria. And there may not be an opposition come 2027. That is the narrative. But I tell you the truth, that Nigerians by 2027 will pour out their anger on the government that really decimated them in all ramifications. But here is the problem. There is this arrangement which everybody knows, power sharing between the north and the south. And whenever it comes to the south, the Yorubas believe it should be just with them. And it had nothing to do with the south-south or the southeast, who will never have a shot. Good luck, Jonathan, true to his name, good luck, was lucky to become Nigeria president. And that the West will not allow to happen again. And come to think of it, come 2027, who is going to be the biggest opposition of this government? Peter Obi from the southeast. Now, why would what happened in Guinea Bissau happen in Nigeria? This arrangement of power sharing must strictly be between the south and the north. And when it comes to the south, it must definitely be with the west, southwest. And instead of Peter Obi, an Igbo man, whom every Nigerian politicians, including the Nigerian general populace, have agreed in their innermost heart that instead of to see an Igbo man become president of Nigeria, it is better for Nigeria to decimate. And instead of an Igbo man to win Tinubu, it is better the military will take over. And that is what played out in Guinea-Bissau from the explanation of Goodluck Jonathan. It began to make sense to me. Why would a president plot his own coup and hand over power to the military? If not the fact that the opposition leader won the election, landslide. There is no two ways about it. And that is exactly the last card and checkup for this APC government. Should they fail to secure the ballot come 2027? I'm not a prophet. I'm just giving you a clear line of thought to look into this. And I'm not trying to ethnicize this, but I'm trying to wake up the consciousness of Nigerians that ultimately they will continue being victims of ethnic politics in Nigeria. That they should not allow themselves to be used once again to thwart the opportunity to liberate themselves from the shackles of bad governance in Nigeria. After 2027, Peter Obi may not have an opportunity again to have another shot at the presidential election and take it home. outside P2B, there is no Igbo man alive today, the Southeast particularly, will ever vote for in the presidential election. I mean, Tokam. Igbos will always prefer competence over ethnicity. And I just hope other Nigerians should understand that fact. During the time of Obasanjo, Igbos were the ones that supported it full-heartedly. In fact, when PDP was in power, they always have their bulk votes from the East, irrespective of other Igbos in the ballot. You see, this ethnicity that Nigerian people have been, subjected to when it comes to election is their biggest undoing. And until they realize this fact, you will continue being victims of your stupidity. And the worst part of it is that you only envy the Igbos, because no matter how bad the jungle is, take it or leave it, the children of the lion cubs, or the lion cubs themselves, the children of the lions, will never eat grass. No matter how bad the jungle is, the lions will never eat grass. Igbos will never suffer the most, because they have been programmed since after the Biafran War to survive any situation, to survive without any government input in their lives. Check it. There is nothing that the government contributes to the life of an average Igbo man in Nigeria, and as well to the all Nigerian people. But who are the people that have always lived through? Who seems that everything is easy and smooth going, even in hardship? Is because they have been conditioned, they have been programmed to withstand bad governance. But what about you? I'm not saying this to cajole you, or to manipulate you, or to coerce you to vote an Igbo man. Don't even vote P2B because he's an Igbo man. Vote for competence if you have the opportunity. I am not the spokesman of P2B. And even if you become president by mistake or by anything tomorrow, I will still be dragging him like we are dragging my professor governor in Anambra State, because I gave him 100% support. The way I give you support is the way I'll drag you if you step outside the line. And that is the truth. And that is what democracy is all about. And that is what we're doing on GGN, to revolutionize governance for the betterment of the people. I still remain associated with Peters. I just hope this analysis makes sense to you. But if it doesn't, let the discussion continue on the comment section. If you think that what happened in Guinea Bissau may not happen in Nigeria, think twice. I'm just giving you heads up for what is to come. I'm not a prophet. Deal with the message. Leave the messenger out of it. I'm Associated Peters, your advocate for good governance. If it makes sense to you, share it to other Nigerians. And let's have your opinion on the comment section. Bye-bye for now. GGN, uniting the people for good governance.